change today. I thought I would do something in celebration of the 10th anniversary of the phone that changed everything, which is, yep, the iPhone first generation. I found this when I was recently moving apartment, and it was in its box, and it's still in relatively good nick. So weirdly, when you're holding, I remember when it first came out, it was 10 years ago, what, January 2007, so by the time it came to Saudi it was probably what, May, August, I'm not sure. This was 10 years ago, and now, you know, everything that came with this phone is basically what we take for granted these days. So pretty interesting. Very small in the hand. I just can't believe it when I hold it, because I remember thinking that when it came out it was quite big. So what were the specs of this thing when it came out? 3.5 inch screen, and I'm just looking here, the resolution was 320 by 480. 320 by 480. Now we're having 2K, 4K screens. Having said that, this screen, I suppose for the size, I think it's about 167 pixels per inch. It looks pretty decent. It has 2 megapixel camera. Wow. It came with 4, 8 or 16 GB. This one in particular was the 8 GB one. Corning Gorilla Glass. Originally came, I think it can only be updated to iOS 3.13, I'm sure it is. Now the processor was an ARM 11 processor, which was clocked at 412 megahertz, wow. Megahertz, not even gigahertz. PowerVR MBX GPU, and it wasn't even 3G. It was a 2G phone. And it worked with Edge for your internet, really slow. So can I get this camera to focus? Yes, there it is. Oh. So what of the iPhone first generation today? Can you use it? Okay, well, yes, you can use it if your carrier has a 2G network still. This one originally I think was AT&T locked, if I can remember, and when I unboxed it again it was still locked, and I thought I'd jailbroken it, and when you look on the internet, it was easy to find the jailbreaking software. Can you see there? Let it focus. Cydia. Yes, everybody remembers Cydia. Okay, so Cydia is still available, and yep, you can jailbreak it, and if it was unlocked, you can unlock it. So it can still be used, but what of the apps? Okay, well, that is where you will have a problem, other than, I suppose, what is on here, you know, the apps that came with it. It is really pretty impossible to find an app now that is compatible with iOS 3.3. I'm not saying there isn't any, I'm just saying that it is not easy at all, and you just would struggle. Now the difference between iOS and Android, that's why I'm not really an Apple fan, to be honest with you. I like them, they look nice, and iPads and MacBook Air, I've had them all and I like them, but I'm just, you know, the iOS and the restricted ecosystem that has is just really annoying for me. I just can't be bothered with it, so that's why I'm really an Android guy for the most part, although at the moment I'm using a Windows 10 phone. But with an Android version you can look back, and some websites have you know, earlier apps that you can still use and load onto your phone if your Android version has never been updated. I'm not saying all of them will work, but at least you have the choice. And I couldn't see anywhere where you could do this with the iPhone first gen. So really it's pretty much what you've got here. What I did, just to give you an idea, it has Facebook here, but I pinned that to the start, so it just basically opens to the browser version of Facebook. So really what you've got is a relatively dumb smartphone now, but you could still use it. The phone still looks quite nice. I think to celebrate the 10th anniversary, maybe they'll do it with the what is it now, iPhone 8. I like the design of this. I think they should release another one with the exact same shape and design, just obviously thinner. This is pretty tough. You can see this one had, I don't know if you can see it, let's see if it focuses. Oh, can you see? No. It's got a big dent in the corner there. Oh, it's not going to focus, no problem. But pretty tough, and it survived a few falls, etc. So for nostalgic purposes, and I will be reviewing something else which is on that nostalgic tip, but you could use this, as I say, as long as your carrier is working with a 2G network, sorry, you can still use it. Here I think Virgin and Virgin used STC and it still worked. So, and the call quality was fine. It was pretty tinny and weak, but yeah, I could make calls with it. The camera, well, I mean, what are we going to say about the camera? Let's see. The camera is pretty basic, but on this screen it didn't look too bad, and I suppose for 10 years ago it wasn't bad at all. Of course, it doesn't have a flash or anything like that. It is 2 megapixels, so no front facing camera at this time. Where this phone still stands up, and I transferred some music on it, I put on my RHA wired headphones. The iPod part of this still sounds really good. It's, I mean, it's as good as an iPod is now, I would say. Better than a lot of phones that I have listened to. So you could still, if you have an 8GB version of it, you could still use it for as an iPod, an alarm clock, something like that. And if you have 16GB, even better. But the sound from this, now I'm not sure what kind of you know, if it has a DAC on it or what it is, if it's the same as the older iPods, I don't know. But the sound of the music that the music files that I transferred over, they sounded really good. So yeah, you could still use it for that. So you know, if you were really want to get onto your nostalgic tip, you could have some music while you're doing it. But really, you would be pretty much even I jailbroke it with Cydia. Most of the stuff that I tried to let's see, I did try, what am I? I'm a user. I did try to download some themes, and I thought it worked, and then once I tried to like load it, it just kept going into a boot loop. So I mean, I didn't really have much luck. And even this version now is saying that is no longer supported. I'd need to upgrade it, which I mean would be easy enough to do. I'm just not sure if you would have any benefits of it. So really, I'm just keeping this as a you know, as a memento of when the age of the real smartphone started. And of course, before iPhone, at the time when iPhone came out, I had a very high-end Sony phone that had a touch screen with it had a stylus, and when this one came out, I liked it. It didn't even have a camera, but it was really nice. So, and it cost around about the same price. Actually, it was about 500 reals less than the iPhone at the time. It was 2,500, and that wasn't even didn't even have a camera. But and it had 4 GB of memory, and you couldn't expand it. And it was run on OS, which was whatever the old OS of like Nokia and stuff like that. I can't remember the name of it. It might come back to me. And I thought that was I thought that was like a really excellent phone. It was a good phone actually. So yep, we had let me see. Okay, yeah, I'm just looking at the music. I put on Amy Winehouse and a few other things on this just to see how it was. Yeah, it was really good. So the 10 years ago, of course, there were other phones that had touch screens. There were kind of smart Windows like Palm and stuff like that. I'm not sure if Windows had a phone at that time, but the thing was, of course, was the whole point of this was very finger friendly and having your apps, etc. And they were the first really to do it, and still probably have the better selection of apps to this day. Although me preferred the Android, but yeah, it's fun to look at it, and it still looks nice today. And I'm going to keep it in its box. So yeah, that's just a wee change from my usual reviews and my thoughts on the iPhone 1st gen. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.